Hello, my lovely divine feminines. Welcome. It's a very rainy, dark morning here in England, and I felt it was time that I actually checked in to see how the DMs are feeling and to also get a message from him as to what he would like the DF to know. So we're going to start with that. Let me just see, where do you want me to start, Spirit, please? Okay, they've just said to me circumstances, which leads me to these cards. Those of you who follow my channel will know that there are certain sets of cards that I feel are circumstantial cards, which is, I don't know, weird really, but anyway, because they also do feelings, but you know, we'll see. Let's see what the circumstances are around the divine masculine at the moment then, DFs. What are the circumstances for him, please? How is he feeling about his current circumstances? He feels this is fate. All that glitters. Okay, let's come back to this because... that's interesting. That's interesting, very interesting. What can you see? Can we fit another card in there? No, let's put it in threes. Okay, this is looking interesting already, and I see why Spirit led me to these cards because, let me just get the other couple here. I'm going to stick with 6 for now, even though they're telling me in my head we need 9. Let's start with the 6. Your divine masculine is very aware that this is fate. He's very aware that this is the relationship with you is about divine intervention. He's become a lot more awakened, as we keep saying. He's been on his journey to awakening over the last few months. But here we are, the very first card with the Fates card. He knows that he's destined to be with you. He knows that you are a huge key part to his life. And he's now had that realization. The more human part of him, rather than the spiritual part, the more human part of him is having a few doubts and still questioning himself, not about you, but about whether or not this relationship is as he sees it. Because although on one hand he's very, very clear that this is fated and that he should move forward, there's just tiny moments where he thinks, is it? You know? Is it for real, this? Can it be real? Can the way I'm feeling really be real? Is it okay to feel like that? You know? We know this DM has been hesitant for quite a long time. We know that he's lacked confidence and courage at various points. And what we're seeing here is a shift in the fact that he's recognising the importance and significance of this relationship. But every now and then, he just has this little question in his mind, you know, am I imagining this? Can this really be real? Do I really deserve this? You know? Or, you know, is that divine feminine, is she for real or is she wearing a mask? You know, because he's letting some of those old doubts creep in. I don't get the feeling that that's in a major way. As I say, he's much more awakened to the fact that this is a very spiritually led relationship. And he's desperate to contact you, divine feminine. If some of you are not in contact, then, you know, he still is thinking about contacting you. Okay. Here we have a bottle that, you know, inside is a telephone. He may contact you by telephone. It could be email. It could be, you know, whatever. And this card, more and more, when I look at it in readings, I recognise that we have a stork here. And it's almost like a rebirth, you know. I always obviously associate storks and babies, but it feels like, I don't mean in a direct way, but I feel that this is about a rebirth. So if you've not been in contact, he is definitely feeling that he wants to contact you regarding re-establishing your relationship on a 3D level. And he knows it's time. Look at this. Time to go. He knows that it's time for him to leave whatever his situation is and to actually come towards you. But because he has this hesitance, because he has those moments where he questions it, and he has those dips in confidence every now and then, he's actually, looking for signs around him, and he's seeing them all the time. So for some of you, he may be seeing your name popping up here, there and everywhere. You may be driving past the billboard and your first name is up there, obviously associated with someone else, but it's still your first name. There may be significant pieces of music that are playing. There may be significant signs and symbols that mean something to the two of you. It may be he's in a restaurant and the person that he's having lunch with orders exactly what you would have ordered because it's your favourite, He is seeing lots of signs and symbols about you, and he's recognising them. That is the important thing. In the past, this DM would have perhaps ignored those signs and just felt that they were, not to be taken any notice of. But now he knows this relationship is significant. He knows he wants to come towards you. So these signs have a new importance to him. He wants to bring peace into your situation. So some of you will, have not felt very peaceful towards your DMs. And again, he will be picking up that energy from you. So the more peaceful you can be, the more peaceful he will feel, more confident to come towards you. Remember, when I say he and she, I just do it for my own convenience because that's what comes out of my mouth. But it's not gender specific. So, your divine masculine could be female, okay, and vice versa. So, he wants his contact with you to be peaceful. And obviously, he's still trying to figure out which is the best way to do that. For some of you, he may want to make this trip across the ocean. He may want to contact you, but he may want to travel towards you in order to have this rebirth of your relationship. But obviously, with the pandemic restrictions across the world at the moment, that isn't as straightforward as he would have liked it to be. They want me to put a third row out because they wanted me to put 9. So let's just go with it. What else, please, Spirit? What is the next message for the Divine Feminine about how the Divine Masculine is feeling? Yeah, we have feminine energy here. We have the yin energy, This is all about, emotions, about softness. Again, about a sense of peacefulness. And he's missing your sort of feminine qualities, He wants to go towards his feminine. He knows it's fated. It's time for him to move towards her. He knows that, But, well, there shouldn't be a but, really, because I'm not, there's a part of me, let's get the next card, but I'm saying this isn't a major issue, this moment of doubt. They're just moments of doubt because we all have negative thoughts. So let's see. What's the next card, please, for the Divine Feminines? Yeah, he feels that he's blessed having this relationship, and that is why he's questioning. This is why I say this isn't a major issue. But, he feels it's too good to be true, and he doesn't feel like he deserves it. But, the more signs and symbols he's getting that this relationship is meant to be, the more blessed he's feeling. And, there's a moment where he questions, well, yeah, but I may be blessed, but do I deserve it? Maybe things have happened between you in the past that he feels he can't come back from, but he knows he has to. He knows this is divinely led, and so he knows that's where he will find his ultimate happiness. So he's maybe just in those moments of self-doubt saying to himself, is it too good to be true, or can I actually have that because I feel that someone... I feel that the universe is blessing me with this relationship. Do I deserve that? Just those moments of self-doubt. What's that? Thank you. Yeah, look, he feels between worlds at the moment. You know, in his heart he's feeling quite dark, but he sees that you're his light and he just wants to step towards you, you know. And I know we all keep saying, because I read all your comments and I answer as many of them as I can, but I know that all of us are feeling, we wish he'd just step forward and let's get this show on the road. I know we're all feeling that, you know. But again, we have to understand this is all in divine timing. And Spirit will put us together when they feel we're both ready, because we've both completed our shadow work. That is the reality if you're in a true twin flame relationship, you know. So if you're harboring any feelings of anger or resentment or, you know, defensiveness towards your divine masculine, the divine masculine will feel that and it will keep him in the dark energy. It will keep him from moving forward because he won't feel confident enough to do that. And we know we want him to be, but it's not just about what we want. Of course, that sounded like a mini lecture. I do apologise. But, you know, it is such a crucial part of the twin flame journey, is to have that understanding, you know, and to approach things with love. And some of... Oh, I keep knocking the table, sorry. And some of you totally get it. And some of you struggle with it a bit. That's it. That's better, isn't it? Right, let's see. Do we want to go with this one? Okay, yeah, we do. So let's go through and see how he's feeling in more detail. How is he feeling about the fates, please? How is the DM feeling about the fates, please? Which one? That one? Okay. Yeah, he's ready for a big change. He's ready to change this situation because he's had the awakening. Did you see the way I did that? I went, he's had the awakening. But he has. He's had the awakening, you know? He may have little dregs left behind that he's still questioning, but that's healthy, you know? But he's had the awakening, so he's now ready to make this change. He's totally ready. He has been for a little while, but he's still trying to figure out the best way to do it without hurting everybody. So, you know, he's not realising that him staying away continues to hurt his DF. Although some of them do realise it, so I shouldn't generalise, really. Why do we have all that glitters? How is he feeling in this moment when he has these all that glitters moments, please, Spirit? Yeah, he sort of wants to hide away. He sort of wants to, you know, have his space and really think things through. And when he's having those moments of doubt and he's questioning himself, you know, he has to take himself out of whatever activities he's doing and just take time to himself to try and figure it all out. Because, you know, he's having to get used to it. It sort of hit him like a truck, really. You know, he's having to sort out, he wants this big change. He doesn't fully understand it. Yes, he's had an awakening, so yes, he knows it's spiritually led, but there's that period of adjustment that he's going through, and he needs to take time out to fully understand that. Why do we have message in a bottle, please? Why do we have message in a bottle? Oh gosh, he's still frightened, look. He's still afraid of stepping forward and telling you that he wants to rebuild. There's a huge part of this DM that actually feels you're going to reject him because he's been away for too long, because he's not been in contact for too long, because he fully doesn't understand the relationship. Maybe for some of them, they're not quite there yet, you know. So he's still worrying about how to make contact and whether or not he should. He knows he wants to, but this is something that's still going round and round and round in his head. He could make his life so much easier by just stepping forward, but in actual fact, a lot of this is not within his control, remember, because this is divinely led. So he will step forward, Spirit will give him the go-ahead, and he will do it. When they give him the go-ahead, whoops, sorry, just dropped all my cards. So Spirit, why do we have time to go, please? What does the Divine Masculine feel? Why does he feel that it's time to go? It's the wrong one. He's not happy. You know, we had him over here taking this time out to sort of try and figure out this situation. We have him here worrying about whether or not you'll accept him or whether you'll reject him. And here we have him, you know, withdrawing emotionally because all he wants is to leave his current situation and move towards you. But it's causing him a lot of emotional stress at the moment because he's just got to get that courage to do it. You know, there may be other factors that are coming into play here that are not making it easy for him. For some of them. Why do we have serendipity, please? Why do we have serendipity? Yeah. Obstacles and challenges. That's interesting because, as I say, he's seeing all the signs, but you know, in his head, when he's in this doubtful moment, he's putting in his mind obstacles and challenges. You know, he's seeing this as, you know, someone. Yeah, okay. Yeah, what they're saying is that he's seeing this as a major challenge. It's almost like when he keeps seeing your name, he's saying to Spirit, why do you keep showing me your name? You know, it's almost like he feels that while he's sitting in fear, he feels the challenge from Spirit to actually find the courage to move forward. So that's quite funny, actually, that, you know, he's seeing that as more of a challenge than an obstacle. You know, he feels, or maybe it is an obstacle because he has to get over it in order to be able to move forward. He's got to build that confidence and get over his feelings of you know, worry of rejection or whatever it is that for your particular Divine Masculine he's concerned about. So that's quite interesting. So the signs that he's being sent are challenging him to make those changes, which is really positive. Why do we have peace, please? Why does the Divine Masculine want peace? He knows he's taken his time. You know, we have the waiting game here. He wants to be able to come towards you and for your interaction to be peaceful. But he knows that he's made you wait, and this is what he's worried about. He thinks that you're not going to accept him in the way that he would like you to. He would like to sit down and he would like to talk to you. He'd like to be open with you, but he gets this feeling that you're not going to be happy with him because he's kept you waiting so long. Okay. That's the wrong way round. So why does the Divine Masculine want yin energy, please? Thank you. Oops. Stand your ground. Yeah, he's hoping that you're going to be loving, you know, have all your feminine qualities coming out, you're nurturing, but he's worried that you're going to stand your ground and be quite defensive. So, you know, he wants to come towards you, but again, this is why he's stressing about it, because he's worried about the reaction he's going to get. Because for him, you know, some of you have commented to me that, you know, he ought to just get on with it and basically take that risk. But for him, it's a win or lose situation. You know how important this relationship is to us, you know, with our Divine Masculines. It's the same for your Divine Masculine and his feelings towards you. So for him, the thought of stepping forward and you rejecting him is more than he can bear at the moment. And I know that's sort of a bit rich because him not stepping forward is causing us pain. But, you know, this is the energy he's in at the moment. He's worried that after all that's happened and all the time apart, for those of you this is relevant for, then he's worried that you're going to say, no, I'm not having it. You know, you had your opportunity. And of course, that's the last thing that either of you really want, to be fair. So, you know, just be mindful of that, really, Divine Fems. If he steps forward, at least hear him out and, you know, look at what can happen in the here and now and the future rather than what has happened. Why do we have blessed, please? Yeah, he feels he's got to make the right choice, you know. We have this thing, as we said, about him. He's seeing these signs. He feels like he's being challenged to move forward at the moment. He wants to, but he feels like he has to, because he feels driven to do so. And, you know, yes, he's feeling blessed. He feels this has been brought to him and it's incredibly special. And he recognises that it's, you know, a divinely led relationship. But now he feels he has to choose wisely in terms of the decisions he makes, in the way that he steps forward. And he has to be absolutely sure, because there is a part, and this is a shift, because there's a part of the Divine Masculine at the moment who doesn't want to step forward and then pull away again. They know that this is their opportunity, and that's why they're seeing it as a win or lose situation, because they know that they're going to, if they step forward this time, then it's got to be with a really solid offer for long term. Otherwise, they know they've blown it and they can't bear the thought of losing you, you know. So why are they feeling between worlds, please? Yeah, they're trying to balance out their life at the moment, but they're right in the middle between their old life and their new life, which is a weird sort of balance. But there's also a part about, Spirit have just said to me, emotionally stable. They're trying to balance out emotions still, trying to get over this fear that they're feeling, this stress that they're feeling, in order to be more balanced when they approach you. There still feels like an air of procrastination going on here, but it still feels like it's fear-led, you know, which is, yeah. Sorry, I do keep knocking the table today. Do we need more information about how he's feeling? Do we need more information about how he's feeling, or do we go on? Okay. No, Spirit are saying let's move on, because we want to know what it is. Let's move these up just a bit. We want to know what it is that the Divine Masculine wants the Divine Feminine to know. So I'm going to go with these relationship cards, Love Oracle. Let's go with the Love Oracle, and then we're going to do some tarot. So what does the Divine Masculine actually want the Divine Feminine to know? What is his message to the Divine Feminine, please? What is the message to the Divine Feminine? Thank you. Okay, so we have Shine. Let me put out a few, so we want to get that in context. What is the Divine Masculine's message to the Divine Feminine? Balance. Rebuild. That's always good. Let me move those up there a bit, because I don't think we'll use those again. Let's put those here. And let's go for 6. Dreams coming true. Well-deserved reward. Joy and stability. Okay, beautiful. I love this. So, the Divine Masculine basically wants to come forward to you and shine his light. He wants to actually come forward in positive mindset. He wants to come forward and make your life better. He wants to add to it. He doesn't want to bring uncertainty. He doesn't want to bring imbalance. He wants you to shine, and therefore he knows that he's got to come towards you with something positive. Okay, so this is what he's saying to you. He wants to bring positivity into your life and no negativity, because he knows that he's got to find balance, and this is what he's working on at the moment. We saw this before. The balance card is just here. He's trying to balance out his emotions at the moment, and so that he can bring this positivity, because he knows if he doesn't come to you in a stable, balanced way, then you're going to have a rocky foundation. And what he really wants to do is rebuild with you, Divine Femme. He wants to rebuild your relationship because he knows you deserve that. And he wants to be a part of that. He wants to rebuild with you, but he can't rebuild on a shaky foundation. And this is what he wants you to know. He wants you to feel that joy. He wants you to shine because he wants you to feel that joy. He wants your dreams to come true, and he wants his dreams to come true. Okay? So he feels that as a responsibility at the moment. He's saying that although he doesn't see that as a burden, he is trying to find the positive mindset to come forward, to make it joyous. He doesn't want to come forward to arguments, and this is why he's scared about how you will receive him. He wants to come forward and for it to be joyous going forward, because he wants yours and his dreams to come true. He feels this responsibility. You see how these dreams are in the palms of his hands, you know? And he does feel, they keep saying responsibility. He feels the responsibility of it. He feels that it's his role as divine masculine to come in and give that joy, give that bright light to his divine feminine, you know? So this is why he's trying to get balance, so that he can come in that energy. Because he knows that you deserve the best. You know, he's here and ready to give you a well-deserved reward. He feels that you deserve the absolute best, you know? And so he's got to be stable enough, and he wants to feel ready to actually be able to give you what you deserve. And what you deserve, and he's very aware of this, is great joy. Again, we have this shining, like we had in the first card. We have this shining. He wants to give you the joy and the stability that he knows that you want, that he knows that you deserve, and that he knows he can actually give you. He has to trust himself to do it, and that's what he's working with at the moment. Right, let's get some tarot clarifiers. I do apologise if there's any background noise. I can hear trolleys moving about. It's the building I'm living in at the moment. So, what can you tell us about shine, please? What are the steps? Yeah, he wants to be very clear. He wants to make a clear new start. Anything that's in the past, he wants to sort of forget about and move on from. He wants to move forward with clarity, and he wants to move forward with positivity. Okay? He doesn't want to drag old issues forward into this relationship. Here we are, finding balance, it says. Yes, he definitely wants to find balance here with temperance. This is all about, you know, finding that balance and being at peace with himself. And why do we have rebuild, please? Look what he wants to rebuild with you. I love this card so much. The Ten of Cups is a happy family life, you know, a very loving, nurturing environment, everybody at peace, everybody enjoying each other's company. The Ten of Cups, the epitome of loving family life. And this is what he wants with you. That is what, Divine Femmes, he wants to rebuild with you. Okay? He's very clear these days about what he wants. And what do we have about dreams coming true then, please? Why do we have dreams coming true? What is that about, please? Do you want me to take the King of Swords? Yeah, look, he wants to come in and take control of his situation. Like I said, we talked about responsibility. We talked about him feeling that he has your happiness in his hands. That is what, whether that's right or wrong, and actually it's not right, because we all have responsibility for our own happiness that we bring to a relationship. But he is feeling, he's in very masculine energy at the moment. He feels he has to provide that happiness for you. So he wants to come in, he wants to be in control, he wants to be very clear about everything. You know, he's thinking it through with his head at the moment. You know, he's trying to find a head-led way of making your dreams come true rather than allowing these emotions, because at the moment he's trying to balance his emotions so it's easier for him to think in his head. Why does he feel that Divine Feminine has a well-deserved reward, please? And again, please. This is interesting because the word that came out with this card was loyalty. And it feels, now this is an interesting message. It kind of feels like the Divine Masculine feels that you deserve this reward because they know that you've been loyal. They know you've been holding on to this relationship, even at times when he was maybe off doing his own thing. You know, for those of you that have sat and you've waited for your Divine Masculine, he knows that you've done that. He knows you've been guarding this relationship like riches. And he knows that this has kept you in quite a dark place. You know, there's light outside the window. You could have gone out. You could have been out partying, living a different life. And he would have felt very threatened by that. But he recognises that you have made big sacrifices for him in terms of protecting this relationship. And that is why he wants to give you your well-deserved reward. And why do we have joy and stability, please? Why do we have joy and stability? Is it that one? Yeah, he wants to make a major change. We have the Death card here, which of course, you know, means major change. And he wants to bring you that joy and stability. He wants to bring this major change into your life because he knows that what he's been offering you has been very unstable. It's been very inconsistent. Maybe some of them have been very hot and cold with you, Divine Fems. And he knows this has got to change. And he knows it's going to be a big change for him to be coming into a relationship at this level is a huge change, you know, as it has been for Divine Fems, let's be honest. But he knows his responsibility as he sees it. He sees it as his responsibility. And he knows that he has to make this big change in order to bring you this joy and stability. So he's very mindful of all these issues. And actually, I feel quite heartened by seeing this today. Because, you know, obviously his intention is still there. We know clearly what he wants with you. We know that he's prepared to make this big change. He recognises the sacrifices you've been making. He's trying to get himself emotionally that was a slip of the tongue, emotionally balanced so that he can offer you that joy and stability. And he wants to come forward and start things anew, but he wants to come with a positive energy that is full of clarity, you know, because that is the only way you're going to be able to move forward. He is in his headspace a bit, and he's trying to figure out in his head how he can make your dreams come true, where once he's balanced these emotions, he'll be in a better place, because if he let this be emotionally led, then it would be a lot easier. His path would be a lot easier. But he has to find his own way, and obviously he's being led by spirit, you know. So, you know, I feel quite heartened by that reading. I'm going to do a couple of Moonology. And then we're going to do a couple of angel cards, and then I need to draw it to a close. So what messages do we have for the divine feminines, please, from the divine masculine? What is the theme, the message that the divine masculine would want the divine feminine to know? Yeah, they're asking you to meditate and contemplate. So they're asking you to think things through. Again, we go back to head-led stuff, but they're asking you to, you know, really connect with your inner self, and, you know, rather than concentrating on things that have gone wrong in the relationship, they're asking you to concentrate on what you want going forward and how you emotionally want things to be. Meditation can be very, very helpful for that, for those of you who are into meditating, because also if you're meditating, then you're much more in a relaxed state and able to connect with your divine masculine on a 5D level. So there are lots of good meditations for twin flames on YouTube, by the way. But look, you know, this isn't going to go on forever. There are conclusions within reach, you know, and the divine masculine wants you to know divine feminine. It may have been a long time for some of you, but they want you to know that the conclusions are within reach. Right. Let's just pull a couple of angel cards. Sometimes these particular cards sometimes give us an indication of timing. Sometimes they don't. It depends whether spirit want us to know, basically. And remember, spirit's timing isn't necessarily the same as ours, but they do give us a general guide here. So spirit, can you give us any sort of timing for when the divine masculine will step forward, please? Are you willing to do that? They've thrown it on the floor. Okay, gosh, this keeps coming up in my readings at the moment. Look, they're asking you to just keep believing and having faith here. Okay, I mean, to be honest, asking about divine timing is a bit crazy because this is such a general reading. It's not a personal reading. So, are there any general themes, spirit, in terms of the divine masculine's energy and then moving forward towards the divine feminine in the 3D? Are there any general themes time-wise? Oh, they've said yes. And in this deck, the yes that has the exclamation mark after it is a definite yes. So they're saying, yes, there are. So, you know, there are things, you know, maybe in a planetary way, or maybe the universe is arranging it in this way, where the divine masculines are being encouraged to go through their awakening. And we're seeing this. They've all gone, well, the majority of them, as far as I can see, certainly the set I read for, are going through a big awakening. So, yes, there are some themes in the timescales. Can you give us an indication of when we're looking at in terms of the divine masculine moving forward? Then, I was just about to say they're not going to give us a time scale, because usually if they give us lots of other cards, then they're not giving us a time scale. They've asked us to trust this process, and this is all part of letting go. And we don't mean letting go of your divine masculine, but letting go of the emotion attached to it wherever possible. And it is very, very hard to do that, trust me, because I know when you're in a true twin flame relationship, this person is in your mind 24/7. I totally understand that. I totally, trust me, understand that. It's amazing we ever sleep. But, you know, they're asking you to trust here, just to trust the process. But what they have given us underneath the trust, they're saying you may see some movement. And I'm saying may because, like I said, this is such a general reading that if they all did it at the same time, I think like the world would tip over or something. Of course it wouldn't, it's round, we all know this. But you know what I mean, within the next few weeks, you may well have contact, or you may see some movement forward from your divine masculine. But Spirit is saying, look, you know, if you believe that in the possibilities, if you believe in the positive outcomes here and don't focus on the negatives, then yes, you know, your divine masculine could well be part of the group of divine masculines that are stepping forward. You need to trust the process and you know, within the next few weeks, there could be movement here for some of you. Right, my lovely Divine Fems, I'm going to leave you to it at the moment. Remember, for those of you who have a Divine Masculine in a karmic relationship, I'm aiming to do, as I always do, the karmic read tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so and click the notification bell. Then you'll be notified when that video comes out. Okay, but apart from that, I love reading your comments. Thank you for all the likes. And yeah, let's stay with it. Let's trust this process and let's bring our DMs home. Okay, take care everyone. Speak soon. Bye.